Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So we are about 2 weeks out? I think 13 days out from the NFL draft. And we heard about this news a couple of weeks ago, or probably 4 weeks ago now. A little bit after the Adoree Jackson thing, so that might be 3 weeks ago. A little bit after the Adoree Jackson thing, we heard news of two things. The Giants being interested in Jadeveon Clowney, which he ended up signing with the Browns. So that didn't come to fruition. And the second thing was the Giants being interested in Jason McCourty, which was a big surprise to me because we had just signed Adoree Jackson. Darnay Holmes had a great season last year as our slot corner. And I was thinking we have our starters at corner kind of squared away. Maybe you're a little bit concerned about Jason McCourty's depth, about not his depth, but maybe you're concerned about Adoree Jackson's health, and you want some more depth there. So I'm thinking that's why they were interested in Jason McCourty. But Jason McCourty is kind of like his brother. He's not as good as his brother, obviously, but he's a guy who can play safety. And he can play corner. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's been a solid dude most of his career. And it's really a no-risk kind of signing. So the Giants have decided to bring in Jason McCourty today for a visit for their facility. And it seems like every time the Giants bring someone in, they always end up signing with the Giants. So I'm not going to say that he signed with us, but I'm going to talk about the possibility of what our secondary could possibly look like if he signs with us. Now I see Jason McCourty as a number 2 corner in this league and someone who can be a backup safety, maybe even start for some teams. He's obviously not going to start for the Giants. We have 3 guys there that we really feel good about. I thought we had 3 guys at corner that we felt good about, but he might take some snaps away from Darnay Holmes. Again, if Adoree Jackson can't stay healthy, he'll be that guy that slides in there. So he's really a jack of all trades. And it just shows you how versatile our defense can be. Again, you have Adoree Jackson. He can play inside and out. You have Xavier McKinney. He can play inside. He can play slot corner, which he did a little last year. The dude can play edge defender. He can play money backer. He can play strong safety, and he can play free safety. Logan Ryan, he can play strong safety, free safety, slot corner, outside corner. And the same with Jabril Peppers. He can play that money backer. He can play a little bit of a slot corner kind of role. And he can pretty much play everywhere. And then James Bradberry, he's not as versatile, but his play on the outside is more than good enough, and there's no reason to have to move him around. But it just goes to show you, along with Darnay Holmes, who I think can play inside and out, he's done a really good job inside, and I think given a chance, he will be pretty good outside. But when you look at this lineup, especially when you include Jason McCourty, who I consider to be a number 2 corner in this league, and it's looking like right now he's going to be our at least number 3 or number 4 corner, and then he's probably going to be our number 4 safety. To have that dude coming off the bench, or as your number 3 guy, and have Darnay coming off the bench, is going to be huge for the Giants, and it's only going to make this secondary look even better. I was someone who thought maybe there's a small chance that we still go after Surtain if he's there, or J.C. Horn, which I'm starting to really like J.C. Horn the more that I look at his tape, but we have not decided to go after either one of those. I'm pretty sure at this point, corner in the first round is off the board. We cannot take a corner first round if we get Jason McCourty. Again, he's not signed to the Giants, but it looks like he will. So that's pretty much why I'm putting this up, because pretty much every time someone's visited with us, they haven't left. Jason McCourty it's really unfair, because when you look at Dallas, they have a ton of receiving weapons. They have the CeeDee Lamb in the slot. They have Michael Gallup on one side. They have Amari Cooper, who's obviously their number 1 on the other side. And we match up well. We have Bradberry. We have Adoree Jackson. Bradberry's probably your Amari Cooper guy. Adoree Jackson is probably the Michael Gallup guy, because Michael Gallup is more of a vertical guy. And Adoree Jackson has, from all of the tape I've watched of his entire career, I can only remember him giving up maybe 1 or 2 passes that are above 30 or 40 yards. So he doesn't give up that big play. And then you have Darnay Holmes in the slot, who pretty much kind of locked up CeeDee Lamb last year. He didn't give up a touchdown all year, and he did a really good job in that slot last year. So we match up very well against them. We messed up pretty well before with just, Bradbury and Holmes, and now you add Jackson, and then you add McCourty. If for some reason one of those guys aren't playing, and then you add McCourty at safety, our dime package could look like, you could have Bradbury, McCourty out there, Logan Ryan, Jabril Peppers, Xavier McKinney, Holmes. You can have a ton of DBs out there who all can do different things, and this is the definition of an amoeba defense. Bill Belichick, he loves these kinds of defenses, and this is pretty much kind of off of Bill Belichick's tree. There's multiple kind of defense to where you don't know what they're doing, but I'll have to say that Joe Judge and Patrick Graham are taking this to an entirely new level. We have complete position versatility at pretty much everyone in our secondary. And if we were to get a guy like JOK, or we were to get a guy like Jabril Cox in the second or third round in this draft, it would even extend to our linebacker position. The positions are fluid. And it seems like the Giants are actually ahead of the curve on this. We have safeties who can play man coverage, who can play corner spots. We have corners who can play safety. And it makes so much sense that we're ahead of the curve right here. And, we're deciding to go in this direction, because in 5 or 6 years, your linebackers are going to be your corners are going to be your safeties. Everybody's going to be able to play everything. You already have some linebackers who can cover so well that they can literally line up outside. So in 5 or 6 years, Jabril Cox, being this coverage linebacker that he is, which he's the best coverage linebacker in this draft, in my opinion. Him and JOK is probably a close second. But having guys like that is going to be a must, which is why you see more and more guys. It started with Deion Buchanan, who wasn't really good in coverage, but he was pretty speedy. But it started with guys like him, and then guys like Landon Collins, and now Jabril Peppers, and Mark Barron for the Rams, who can move around, who can play that linebacker spot, and is a lot more athletic than your linebackers who were running 4.7, 4.8, who were good linebackers back in the day. So it makes so much sense to go after a guy like Jason McCourty, because he only adds to his versatility. He's played a little, like I said, he's never really played a full season at safety, but he's played enough safety to be competent. And we have so many different kinds of coverages to where sometimes we run a cover 3. Usually in your cover 3, your 2 outside corners are dropping deep, and you have a safety in the middle of the field dropping deep. We've had times where our corners have not dropped deep, and one of our safeties dropped deep. We've mixed up coverages a ton. We've had times where our safeties, where we lined up in a regular kind of looking defense and a regular cover 2, but instead of having the 2 safeties drop deep, we had 2 corners drop deep. So we can do pretty much anything we want to do. And Patrick Graham's defense is only going to be able to get better. If we were to get anybody in this draft in the first 3 rounds that's impactful on defense, this defense literally can be, top of the league. We're missing that grade A pass rusher, that number 1 kind of pass rusher who's a star. Maybe that's Leonard Williams. Maybe he continues to do what he did. But as far as the outside rusher, we don't necessarily have that. But every single thing else, I feel like we have. And that linebacker spot beside Blake Martinez, usually you have someone like a video I made out yesterday, Carter Coughlin, someone like him who can attack, and they don't really have to worry about covering too much. You usually have someone like him, or in the past it's been Devontae Downs. I haven't liked that. But a lot of times in a nickel scenario, Jabril Peppers just lines up right beside Blake Martinez, and it's not an issue. So we don't really need a coverage linebacker next to Martinez, because Jabril Peppers already does that. So all I'm going to say again is position versatility, adding more depth and adding more guys who can move around and play different spots is only going to make it that much more confusing for other offenses and other teams to game plan for. So that's my thoughts on the Jason McCourty possible signing. I don't know if he'll sign yet, but even if he doesn't, if we can add another corner in the draft that we feel is at least a number 2 kind of guy, it only adds to what we can do on defense. So you guys let me know what you're thinking of Jason McCourty possibly coming to the Giants. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.